Yeah, I wanted us to hit a new movie, and I assumed it being Roadhouse, it was going to be a bad movie. And so my logic was, let's not only be the guys that go through and talk about bad movies, let's be the guys that decide the bad movies. I really fucked up on this one.
Yeah, we get to decide that. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you fucked up, man.
People decided. I fucked up in the fact that this wasn't a bad movie. I mean, it's definitely bad. It has its bad moments. It's a slow build-up. I feel like a lot of stuff was actually set into place, though, in that slow build-up that paid off later on. But the payoffs weren't necessarily good. Like, they set up the young girl situation. Oh, he cares for her. Sets up the girlfriend. He cares for her. These are all the motivations to literally kill in the end of this movie.
You know, it's strange. Somebody else asked me if I was afraid today. And I am afraid.
I'm afraid of what happens when somebody pushes me too far.
But none of them were set up enough, so I'm like, it's almost like, why even waste the time on it? Like, I think the movie would have been just enjoyable without adding in a lot of those cheesy elements. Overall, like, it was a fucking fun viewing experience. Even at its worst moments, the fighting and stuff is very good. It's the action it's very overly violent in a very satisfying way, and it only builds to the moment where he's fighting with Conor McGregor. That last fight scene, like, I'm fucking ear to ear grinning.
Fucked his shit up, man.
It's so weird that this brings you so much joy. The story-wise, if I can throw that shit out the window, you can't say that was bad. Who gives a shit at that point? That was so good. It was so enjoyable. It was so much fun. And overall, from top to bottom, the bottoms were bad, but this was a really fun, very enjoyable movie.
Okay, so yeah, story-wise, this one is actually somehow more convoluted than the original one, which seems weird because that movie is really convoluted. But to Tom's point, the action scenes and just the fact that, like, I didn't know what was going to happen moment to moment, and that was enjoyable because in some movies you're like, man, what is going on? It's just hard to follow. Here I'm like, the next scene, I want to see what's going to happen next. Every moment it was like they just kind of keep building and getting more bombastic and more unrealistic. And it's like, it understands exactly what it is. It knows it's a goofy movie, and it's going to just ride that pony all the way to the stable. It's going all the way there. There you go. That's mine. Matt, tell us what you got.
The movie, I think this is the first movie that I think is too good to be on here. With this, I mean, then again, what is this channel really to begin with?
No.
The plot point was convoluted. She could have sold the bar, moved it down a couple miles, and then made bank.
You find that funny? You find this fucking amusing? I'm not amused.
He could have set fire to the bar instead of the bookstore. And Jake Gyllenhaal's character shouldn't have been confused about why people know who he is.
Was there like a town meeting or something? How does everybody know my name?
Yeah.
He was the first person to kill someone in the UFC.
That's a good point.
But given all that, it was still a good movie. Given all that, I didn't care about that shit. I was enjoying the movie. I turned my brain off. It was like a Marvel movie. You just turn your brain off and enjoy it. Why does Ant-Man need to go to the subatomic universe to figure out why fucking bullshit is happening? Who cares? I mean, even still, this is why I think it was a great movie. I liked it. I liked the movie. I really liked it. I didn't care about the convoluted plot points at all. I was enjoying the movie. Jake Gyllenhaal's a talent. I didn't think I was going to say that. I didn't think Jake Gyllenhaal was a great actor until I liked his Mysterio. I've never seen anything else he did. And I think Maggie Gyllenhaal is a beautiful woman.
Okay, I want to say a few things on what you said. Number one, Maggie Gyllenhaal is very unattractive. Number two,
disagree.
I agree with the Jake Gyllenhaal thing. Like, he performed this role perfectly. I think he was the perfect person for it. And then the last thing I want to add, none of us mentioned Conor McGregor, and I just think we need to highlight that before we go anywhere. And I don't know if it was Conor McGregor. I think it was just the right guy for the right role. You know, I can't say it was written well because it wasn't even written. It was just fucking go in there and just be an element of chaos just throughout this whole movie. He was the ultimate bad guy within this movie without having any fucking stakes in it at all. He was just there.
He was just looking for a fight.
Yeah.
He had that Vince McMahon walk the whole fucking time.
No, yeah, that's what it was. No motivation at all. No reason to be here. Didn't give a shit about the money. Didn't give a shit about the guy that hired him. He didn't care about nothing. He was just pure chaos and anger. Well, he was happy, so there was no anger involved at all. And like that's the worst part, I guess, of him dying was because it wasn't satisfying in the sense of like, oh, you really hated this guy. Oh, yeah, that's right. He ended up surviving. But it was, more of it was just like the satisfaction of, seeing the ultimate badass get beaten, I think it wasn't even like, oh, it's satisfying he killed the bad guy. But yeah, I think Conor McGregor, I was expecting fucking him to do shitty, and he did. He fucking was to me was a big highlight of this movie.
Whenever you saw him, you were just like, "Oh shit, it's that guy."
You were very excited, like to see what fucking, because like we were talking about earlier. I think Neil might have mentioned it's so unexpected of what's going to happen from scene to scene, and I think Conor McGregor was a big part of that.
Can I real quick make a counterpoint to Matt's statement earlier, though?
No, I'd appreciate it if you did. Let's move on.
Listen,
Go ahead.
There's a reason that I think this movie absolutely number one deserves to be on our channel, and it's because I could very much see this movie in 20 years being the equivalent of what Roadhouse was 40 years ago or 30 years ago, or whatever, which is a bad movie that people look back on with fondness. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man,
like
you remember that Roadhouse? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you remember that Roadhouse movie? Oh man, we had Jake Gyllenhaal, but it's like, it's just goofy and fun. You can sit down, turn off your brain, and it's a bad movie for the future. So
yes, that is 100%. I meant to say that point. This is the modern version of a bad movie. Yeah. Exactly what you said. When people are going to look back at this era, the 2020s. It's not going to be the Roaring 20s. It's going to be, there's just the Marvel movies like this, all this high intensity action that's fun, but it's just terrible. And who knows what the metric's going to be in the future. But this, I think, will definitely be something considered as a bad movie in the future.
Y'all seeing it and thinking it's going to be bad in the future. Mm-hmm. But people thought that about the Star Wars prequels, and now they're looked upon very fondly.
It's only because somebody came around and dicked up the rest of the movies. That's the problem.
Yeah, right, let's not get into that. That's a whole other subject.
It's nostalgia that loves the prequels. I think it's definitely understood as those are bad movies. I think that's.
Well, let's not get into all that.
It's the same thing of how you like Neil Breen movies,
Jake,
but you know it's bad.
Jake, your movie was very good. I liked Roadhouse. Please introduce me to your sister.
Let's we'll have you on the next show if you're willing to be here, Jake. We can't pay you a suitcase full of money to give away to fucking burnt bookstores, but we'll do our best. This is definitely gonna get a spoons up from me.
Deal.
Oh, is it my turn? Sorry. Okay. I don't know what order we're going.
Matt always makes up the order as we go. We wait until he yells it and then I cut it out, so it seems organic.
Absolutely, this deserves a spoon because this story was bullcrap all the way across, but it was really fun to watch. So, bad movie, spoon up, well done, Jake Gyllenhaal and Amazon.
I will give this movie a spoon because the story is very convoluted.
You said you're giving it a spoon, like a spoon up?
Yeah, spoon. I'm giving it a spoon.
Okay.
I enjoyed the movie and it was very convoluted, so I think it was, give the convolutedness of this movie is what drove me to give it a spoon because it didn't make any sense, but it was still fun to watch. Maggie called me.
Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again soon.
And I think a great thing, if you guys could, if you've stayed this long to the end of the video, what is a modern movie that you've seen that you think it would actually count as a bad movie 10 years from now? I think that's a good question to ask, and I'm curious to see what other people think.
I want to just say we would like to toast all of you, the viewers and the folks that have made this worthwhile. We've been here 3 months now. That seems insane. That every single week for 3 months we've put out some level of video here. And the only reason we're doing it is because folks like you. So to Matt and Tom, I toast you gentlemen. Cheers with your beers or whatever.
Cheers with beers.
Cheers with beers. On going 3 months strong. Here's the thing. This channel is going to continue evolving because what we're really looking to do is we want to bring you the best content that we can bring. And I can tell you right now that these two guys right here are trying their damnedest to make sure that we give you guys great videos. And so,
balls edge on.
Well, just like that. This is the perfect kind of example of the great videos. So this channel is going to continue evolving. We're going to continue to bring you new versions of what our content is. In fact, we're actually preparing to start some new adventures here on the Bad Movie Cold Cereal Party, including doing some streaming, doing some different types of videos, having a little bit different release schedule, the whole 9 yards. It is all going to continue to just grow and evolve and change and adapt. And y'all are the reason that we're doing it. So, gentlemen, cheers.
Bad Movie Cold Cereal Party brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you.
Viewers like you.
I was trying to remember what that PBS thing was at the end of their... And viewers like you.
I don't think I nailed it, but it's something like that.
Let's go watch a bad movie.